YouTube, welcome to our channel, Immigrant Corner, where we talk about controversial topics, we talk about history, current events, fun stuff, not so much fun stuff. We'll try to make it interesting.
And offensive.
And offensive, definitely offensive. So far, we haven't offended anybody, I
Well,
hope.
let's get into it.
Yeah.
The hottest topic, not just in the United States, but all over the world. The U.S. presidential election. We have the heavyweights.
Now, that's a shit show right there.
You got President Donald Trump against Joe Biden. And this whole
Sleepy
year,
Joe. Sorry.
2020, it's been, no matter what political affiliation anybody has, it's been just total madness. Like, this is one of those things.
This year will go down in history for sure.
Nobody forgets, with the whole coronavirus situation. And it's going to be interesting. But what I would like to cover is how important the campaign strategies are. And we don't know exactly what's going to happen. I mean, we have some ideas, okay, if this happened, but nobody knows what's going to happen election night. Nobody knows, because if Trump blows it off and you got people coming out, big numbers, as it looks like it, then it can be just a total landslide, or it can be a close election.
Funny thing is, when they pushed out all the mail-in ballots and all, now it's backfiring because the Supreme Court just shot down the extended date for the ballots to be counted. So basically, if you are planning to mail in your ballot on election day, it's not gonna get counted anymore.
Not even a week before that, because if it doesn't,
you gotta do it tonight.
Even if it doesn't get there by election
day, it's not gonna count.
Discounted.
Yep.
So
not discounted, not counted.
It's gonna not count.
They're gonna discount it from Joe Biden to Kamala.
But what is interesting is, to me, always I observe, regardless of if I agree or disagree, I like to observe, let's say, political parties or just people in general, how they move as a block, right? So you have this coronavirus. Literally, the media has scared people so much that people don't leave their house.
Did you see the new spike that's happening? There's a new spike on election week. What happened? Oh, all of a sudden we had a 30-degree drop in the temperature. Now the waves coming again.
So you will see that most likely you're going to have a lot of Democrats using mail-in ballot and absentees, and you're going to have Republicans doing, as it shows, early voting. Some of them, they do mail, but they did it much earlier, and they're going to come out in big numbers on election day or just early voting in general. They're coming out. As of right now, more than 70 million people already voted. And
you know what? Last election, only 1/3 of the country voted. And
no,
yeah, 130 million people voted. There was 100.
Yes, but that's adult voting age.
Yeah, voting age, that's adult.
55%. So let me.
Why? And what do you mean 55? It was 130 million people voted. Entire country.
55% of eligible voters. That means
what the hell does that
adult.
mean?
So you don't count the kids in population?
I'm not counting the kids. The kids can't
vote.
So
320 million, you're going to have around 100...
130... Yeah, but because not everybody voted. Not everybody voted.
I'm telling you, based on the data, 55%.
Hold on.
We had 55% participation in 2016.
Hold on.
I'm just letting this guy know, but, it's okay. Double check. Is always good to double check.
Yes.
Approximately 55% participation, which actually U.S. presidential election has been historically like that, except like 84 and stuff. That was higher.
He's right. 55.5%. Oops.
55. Okay,
We had 250 million people voted, actually.
No, they were eligible.
Yeah. Voting
But
age
only
population.
130 some million voted.
Well, it's saying 250 million.
No.
That's what is it? Turnout statistics. Voting age population 250
Right,
million.
but 50 actual voting turnout.
Well,
the turnout. This is a voting age. That's a turnout. That means 55% of them turned out.
okay, so 150 million then.
Around 100.
So I was right, asshole.
130 some million.
So I was right. Thank
So
you.
that's 20 million difference.
Shut up.
But anyway,
I was right. Ha!
so it's going to be very interesting next week because I'm going to let you know what's going to happen if election is not decided election night. So the Democrats' plan all along was to do what they did in midterm, and they stole a few seats. And because we have state elections, even Senate elections, even though that they're for federal office, they're done by states. So let's say, for example, election in Arizona, she was ahead, the Republican candidate, Max Sally was ahead, and then one county, they just keep showing votes after the election. After the election was done, they just said, oh, more absentee, more mail-in ballots coming. They just keep showing up, and they took away that election.
They had the magic wand.
What they did, the Democrat Party did, they tried to nationwide apply the same tactics that they did, and they took away a few seats from the Republicans. And if you remember, they tried to do the same thing in Florida.
Oh,
which
Florida.
was a governor, because that's the thing.
Oh.
Governor has a lot of power when it comes to election.
Yeah, what about Georgia?
Because it's state election, right?
Georgia.
Exactly.
She still hasn't conceded.
From one county, they got caught with the truck coming full of votes, 3 a.m. They got caught, so they couldn't steal that election. And the margin was wide. But if you're thinking about it, 20,000, 30,000. Trump won Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania by roughly around 70,000 votes. 3 states won by 70,000 votes.
That's a lot of votes.
No, that's
a small margin, but
3 states.
Yeah, so that's a small margin, but it's a lot of votes. Imagine
and you
how
show
easily.
Up with votes after the election, so it's easy to do that. Unless if the election, as I said, the margins are so large that they cannot do that. Now, let's say if show up election night, we don't know who won. First and first, I personally think it is difficult to do that because we are not a democracy. This is not the mob rule. We are a representative republic. That
2016 election was called
most
like around
states,
3:30
so
in the
whoever
morning.
wins the most states in a collection of like electoral votes, that's going to win. President Trump, for example, won 30 states. Hillary won 20 states. And it was a blowout electoral college because 30 states, 306 to 217.
Yeah.
So I personally think actually, despite what people say, oh, they're going to drag the election, try to kick Trump out of office by January 20th. That's not going to happen. I think actually the election is going to be decided on election night.
That's Nancy Pelosi's plan because January she just wants to say I'm Madam President for like 5 seconds.
It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. Listen, we don't know what's going to happen with the votes. We don't know what's going to happen with the election.
And the new Supreme Court justice, they just threw the whole thing out of balance.
I think this is just my thought. Trump is going to get 364 electoral votes. That's my thing. He's going to get a bigger landslide.
It's going to be. I think he's more enthusiasm for
what actually, and yeah, because right now what's happening with the voter registration, Republicans are coming out with bigger and larger number than Democrats.
Because they're not
but that doesn't.
COVID, so
but also that doesn't also mean that Donald Trump's going to win. That means nothing.
It has to be right number of votes in right number of states.
That's why the Supreme Court. That's why the Supreme Court kicked out the case or ruled against the case, saying yes today that any mail-in ballot that comes in after election day is not going to count. So now the Democrats change their strategy. Say go walk in your ballots.
You can die, but sacrifice yourself.
Go hand it in. Go hand it in. All of a sudden,
the whole year, they shut down the entire
oh
states.
My God!
Corona. Now they say, Corona, no big deal.
And guess what? Now, did you hear about Germany? You know what Germany's doing?
What?
Locking down the entire country.
That's extreme.
For a freaking... I swear, I think it was a month. They're going to shut it down for an entire month. And guess who's going to say we should model Germany? Adam Schiff. I mean... What did Donald Trump say? The melon head? Pencil head just recently called him a melon head because he called the Hunter Biden laptop a Russian disinformation.
So the situation is evolving.
Yeah,
I think you can see the confidence. You can see the panic
never
with the Democrats. Confidence.
I lived here for 27 years, and never in my life have I ever seen this much enthusiasm for a president. And I mean, for God's sake, people are wrapping their car in vinyl with Trump sign all over it.
Michigan.
Oh my God, I cannot believe how people are reacting to this presidency.
I think most
and you know what?
And
here's the thing. Let me tell you something. He is not a politician, and this is why people love him. He doesn't care how politicians function. Politicians like AOC, what they do is, as soon as they get elected into Congress or any office, they start to be groomed to act a certain way, to be a voice for that party. Okay?
Just quick correction.
They get brain.
AOC is not a politician.
She's not. She's an idiot.
She's not an idiot, but
her policies are idiotic. Her policies are idiotic. Her talking points are idiotic. Childish. I mean, we'll talk about socialism in a different segment, but Donald Trump, he is not a politician. This is why they don't like him. He cannot be controlled by politicians. He cannot be controlled by the Speaker of the House, and she hates it. She is one power-grabbing bleep. And
so their plan was to drag the election so the election doesn't happen. That means nobody knows what's happened. And they will challenge multiple states.
Yep.
4 or 5 states if the election is close enough. They don't need to not accept the result of the entire country.
Yeah.
Right? Because a lot of states, the numbers is wide margin.
Yeah.
So they can't deny that, right? But if you close battleground states, let's say Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Minnesota,
Florida,
Georgia, or whatever, North Carolina, then even if they count a few of those, challenge them that the election result doesn't happen at the night of election, then they can drag that out, and they just want to drag it out until January 20th so it doesn't happen. But that's not going to work because great founding fathers, they thought about that. So the electors has to be seated, I think, by December 8th.
Yep.
So they said if the result of states are not certified, then the electors cannot be selected. Therefore, when it comes December 8th, they cannot seat the electors because those electors are going to be missing.
Correct.
Once that happens, that goes to the House. Now, think about it. Democrats very likely can lose their majority in the House. But still, they are in power until January 20th. Until the new Congress kicks in, right? So they want to do that and then drag it. And if, let's say, get to that point, even if it gets to that point, right? The House Democrats, they're going to vote for Sleepy Joe, and the Republican Senate is going to vote for Trump, right? And guess what's going to happen? Because it's draw, a candidate with most states is going to win, which is going to be
Donald Trump.
because no matter what
and
they
that's
do,
by default, by the way.
There are more number of states, even though, for example, you say California, okay, it's a big state, big popular, or New York and stuff,
yeah.
But Trump is going to have more states in the union out of 50. Correct. So even if he doesn't get 30, he's going to get 27. Even if he gets 26.
Nancy, your plan's not 24, working.
So
Nancy, your plan's not working.
Their plan is, I think they know it's not going to work.
They know.
They just want to delegitimize him for his second term. So that's the plan.
Listen, and you know what? This is the biggest finger to
get the popcorns.
This is the biggest finger to the citizens of this country in the way they're playing the game. You know, you hate Trump. Good for you. And you know what? His policies, majority of his policies don't really affect your everyday life. The only one that will affect you is on federal taxes. You know what? You don't like the way you're living? Go complain to your local government. It's the people you elected. These are the people who have control. These people who you put in office in your localities are the one controlling your taxes, are the one controlling how the money is spent, are the one who controlling how much they could raise your taxes, how to make your life a living hell, basically.
Local and state is
more important than federal. The president has very limited powers when it comes down to state. Okay, people need to understand that. The president has more federal power than he does have jurisdiction over any localities.
Which is more focused on foreign policy.
Correct.
Rather than domestic.
Well, it's foreign policy and safety. That's all it is. Right. So, you know, if a state gets hit with a disaster, the president can provide federal funding to help with the disaster relief. And you know, and I hear this all day. You know, he's gonna ruin our life. He's gonna do this. He's gonna do that. You know what? How did your life get ruined since Donald Trump became president? You know, last time I checked, you got more taxes back. When you filed your return, you got more cash back than the year before.
No, you saved throughout the year. I mean, lower energy prices and
you're pumping gas and
lower the media.
You're paying less than $2 a gallon. Well, not in California. You pay less than $2 a gallon for gas. Where when Obama was in place, holy crap, it had $4.50 a gallon. Why? You know why? Because he started. We started becoming energy independent. And you know, when he said, "I'm gonna put tariffs on China, I'm gonna put tariffs on Canada, I'm gonna put tariffs on this," and I'm gonna put, everybody starts screaming, "He's gonna ruin our lives. We all gonna have to spend $600,000 on blah 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 blah." Well, you know what, you idiots, you can't even do math. And I'm talking to the media, because the media's job is to get you scared, get you hyped up that Donald Trump is going to burn this country to the ground and he doesn't have a good economic plan. He doesn't have this. You know what? Exactly. And I tell you why. I'll give you a good example. When he put the tariffs on the Chinese imported iron coming into the country. Steel, sorry. A friend of mine works in the steel industry. After it kicked in, I waited about 3 or 4 months. Then I asked him, "Hey, how's business?" He said, "It's good." I said, "How much did your steel costs increase?" He said, "You know what? The margin was so small that we didn't even feel it. It was very little. I mean, we had an increase, but not to a point that we're going to lose customers." And you know what that did? That allowed the U.S. steel manufacturer to be able to compete with that steel that's coming from overseas. Be able to provide the same cost but a better quality steel. Right. So now you're getting a better now you're getting a better quality product. You're getting a better quality product, except that Chinese crap that's coming in overseas. Now you're funding a manufacturer in the United States where it creates jobs. Now there's people making money in the United States. You know what happens to that money? They spend it. You know what happens when they spend it? More people make money. It's a cycle. Did you know that? Isn't that great?
I had no idea.
I had no idea either. Holy crap. And you know what he did after that? To offset the cost increase of steel, we started exporting energy, fuel. oil.
Right, the energy independence. That's I think
You know what that did?
biggest,
You started spending less money on gas. You started saving more money. And you don't even have to be in the steel industry to save money now, because you could drive your four-cylinder for 6 weeks and spend the same amount of money pumping gas than you did for 2 weeks. And that's how you save money. And this
I
is
would drive four-cylinder.
no, well, I don't either.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is, look, the president's policies affect you in a very small way, but the impact of it is huge at the end of the year.
Usually, if you look at him, I mean, who are the people attacking him, right?
Right. And
You see
look,
all this.
it's mostly the socialists and the far leftists.
For our Democrat friends, that more billionaires, much more billionaires supporting Joe Biden than Donald Trump.
Yeah.
So actually, Democrat Party right now is an amazing thing. The shift is happening. The working class is moving to
#walk away.
The working class and the lower middle class are moving toward the Republican Party.
Yeah.
And the neocons, the warmongers and neocons,
They're moving for the left.
Billionaires and the tech and all that is all going to the Democrat Party.
Yeah.
So it's just amazing for me, just as an observer, is amazing that you see this shift. But in 10 years, looking back, you're going to say, wow, I mean, that was like a Reagan revolution, what they said at the time, like in 1980. Happened. It just brought up new wave of voters to Republican Party at that time.
Yeah,
and actually changed the world. I mean,
right. I mean, I hate the two-party system personally. I think that's what brings division. Anyways, I think we should have more than two parties.
I love it, because when you have too many, then you're gonna have
no. I'm not saying too many. I say three, maybe four. Three, I think.
Why? Then you can't have 40.
I don't know. I don't like the two party. I mean, and this is the thing. If you just a party,
I think it's good because
no, it's fine. But what I'm trying to say is, if you are just a party voter, you're no good to anybody.
Right.
You should be. I think everybody should just be a policy voter.
But most people don't understand. Like Libertarian Party last time actually cost the election for Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, because they got more votes.
Green Party because in 3 states the margin was close.
So well, I should have said two-party majority.
We actually had four party, other people too, but actually we had 4 party running last time.
Yeah.
Libertarian get around 3% of the vote. Green Party get around 1% of the vote, but 1% in Wisconsin. Yeah. That could tip the election toward the other person.
Don't vote for Kanye.
So, you should vote for whoever you want. I mean, this is a free country.
Yeah, it's a free country, but that's the thing. I think if you are just a policy, if you're a party voter, you're doing you're not doing yourself a favor, because now you
have to look at issues.
You gotta look at it. You have to look at issues, because you know what? At the end of the day, you're voting for issues that's gonna change your life, your personal life, because that's gonna carry on to the states. And
the entire media cycle is like watching a commercial.
I swear.
If you pay attention to the commercials, anything from drugs, it's always appealing to your emotions.
Yeah.
Right? If you have a drug, you take this and you are gonna have a beautiful wife, and somebody's gonna come like in a resort,
stay high all day,
shoulders and all that. And in reality, it's just gonna be some fat dude, with a hairy belly, just sitting behind you, just giving you a back massage or something like that. I'm just saying.
Too graphic, dude.
In reality, it's always going to be the opposite. So
too graphic.
If you get this car, it's going to be like this, or it's always about appealing to your emotion.
Correct.
And actually, it's very effective, because instinctively most people are just emotional. But you always have to think about it. I'm angry about, I heard Donald Trump this, or Joe Biden this, or this and that. You always need to take a step back.
Take a deep breath.
Think what is your interest? What is the interest of the country? What their actual policies are? Especially for us, for example, freedom of speech, all this censorship stuff is extremely important because of our own life experience.
Right, and again, the president's role, the effects that the president has is more on foreign policy than it is on domestic. So keep that in mind. The domestic portion of it has to go through the House, has to go through the Senate.
It's much more complicated.
It's more complicated, and it doesn't happen overnight. But foreign policy can actually change within a day or weeks.
So we see what's going to happen next week.
Vote. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I know I shouldn't be doing that. You know what? I have confidence. I know who's gonna win.
The ship is going down.
With that,
good luck, everybody.
Good luck, everyone.
Vote you want to
yes, vote. And this is your patriotic duty.
Vote in person, but not
yeah, don't mail it in. You could frisbee it into the ballot box. Try that. See if that works. Film it and send it to us. I like to see some frisbee throwing ballots.
Comment, subscribe, and let us know what you think.
Hit the bell button, subscribe, share. Share this video. This is the only thing we got, for us to like share our ideas and opinions. So share the video, hit the like button, hit the bell button so you'll know when we upload new material for you guys. God bless you. God bless the United States. God bless you. Donald Trump.